the greatest wingspan of any bird, and the ability to circle the globe without ever coming to land, versus the biggest animal that is ever known to have lived on our planet. My name's Steve Backshall, and this is my Deadly Showdowns, where I put head-to-head two of the most exciting, iconic, dramatic, weird, wild, wonderful of animals. And this time round, it's a really special one, because this is all about animal record breakers. Contender number one is a bird that has the greatest wingspan of any, the wandering albatross. These islands feel so exposed, constantly hammered by winds, perhaps 1,000 miles from the nearest continent. But there's one magnificent creature that thrives in these elements. They live their whole lives in the gales and the storms, and I'm hoping to find some just over this ridge. These are wandering albatross, the largest of the seabirds, living to more than 50 years old. There are a little more than 6,000 breeding pairs of these birds left on the planet. They spend the majority of their life at sea, only coming ashore to breed on a few islands, of which Bird Island is one. The wandering albatross is a really special bird for so many reasons. It has the broadest wingspan of any bird on the planet at the moment. This is the biggest wingspan of any bird. It can be 3.5 meters. That's double my height. With an enormous wingspan like that, they find it quite difficult to get airborne. So living somewhere windy has real advantages, because you can drive yourself down a slope, getting the wind underneath your wings and carrying yourself aloft. These birds are so well adapted to soaring and gliding. Perhaps the only part of their lives which isn't so easy is landing. It's not surprising when you weigh that much and have wings that long. It's really not easy. Albatross don't get much practice at landing on solid ground. They can go for more than 5 years out on the open ocean before returning to land. I had the great honour of kneeling down beside one of the nests where two of these birds had finally come face to face after years out at sea. These birds will mate for life, as long as their partner doesn't in any way get injured or killed. And so when they come back together, they have this wonderful display. It's a dance where they mirror each other's movements. They create wonderful sounds, bugling, trumpeting, sky pointing, lifting their beaks up to the heavens and spreading those mighty wings. And you could see they're just enraptured with each other's company. It's one of the most special things that you can ever experience in natural history, being alongside these two giants, these animal record breakers, which haven't seen each other for a couple of years and are so excited to be back in each other's company and back raising their next brood. So who is our second contender? Well, who else could it be? The true animal record breaker that is the blue whale. Blue whales are a really important animal for me for so many reasons. First of all, it's the one that you read about first in all of the record books. The very longest and heaviest that have ever been found have been females, which were 32 meters in length. That's almost impossible to get into your mind. But if you imagine a passenger jet plane without its wings, that is almost exactly the same size as those, the biggest blue whales. When I was a kid though, I never thought I would have the chance to see one. They were critically endangered. I didn't even know anyone who had seen one. And to have the opportunity to see one even from a distance seemed to me impossible. We had 3 days in the seas of Sri Lanka trying to film blue whales. We started just waiting. Sometimes you'd be in the water for several hours, but eventually this big submarine of a shape would come towards you, and then they'd dive alongside you, and you would feel utterly dwarfed. There was one moment where I took the biggest breath that I possibly could, and I dived down knowing that this whale was going to come past me. And when you watch the shots back, you see these huge gargantuan tail flukes just sweep through the water. And then this ant swims into the frame, and it's me. And seeing me so dwarfed by this vast, vast animal is one of those things that makes me remember that sometimes the natural world is bigger than we are. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't need our help. It does. So who's going to win in our battle of the record breakers? Well, surely it has to be the blue whale, the largest animal not just on our planet now, but ever known to have lived. That was like nothing I have ever seen before. Just a giant submarine cruising below us and totally at ease. Didn't seem to care at all that we were there in its world. And I have never felt so utterly dwarfed by a living creature in my life. The largest animal that has ever lived, the blue whale, definitely on my list. Yeah. There you go, there is my Record Breakers Showdown, and there are plenty more Deadly Showdowns up on BBC Earth Kids, so get involved, get up there, subscribe, and see lots of the other deadly content as well. But for now, all the best from me, Steely B!